session, and by logging in, you are giving us permission to record the session. It's for no other reason but to give the students an opportunity who are unable to attend the live session to be able to view the recording afterwards. You will have noticed that nobody has access to cameras or to microphones. This is so that we can flow through the presentation seamlessly. But I do want to invite you to, in the chat box where you can write down conversations, you can pose questions there. At this stage, I think I'm alone in the session. My backup lecturers have been unable to join. I think they are elsewhere detained, but please feel free to pose your questions in the chat box or even write them down. We will definitely be taking questions at the end of the session. So without further ado, let me just double check. We are recording. So without further ado, I'm going to then proceed with our session this afternoon. So good afternoon, everybody. I must say that I am thrilled that there are at least 15 of you in the session. Usually this time of the semester, we have 1 or 2 students in the session. I'm going to be very strict. I'm going to take a strict tone in this PowerPoint presentation because there's some things I really want to get across. And I think sometimes as a new student, especially first year, you might still be a little bit unsure of where you're going and what you have to do. And that is why I have prepared this PowerPoint presentation, just to give you a brief synopsis of what will be expected of you in the module FOR1502. So let me welcome everybody again here to the briefing session of FOR1502, the investigation of selected crimes and transgressions. This is our introductory briefing, and I am your lecturer. So who am I? My name is Bernadine Benson, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Police Practice. I've taken the liberty of posting an image of myself on the complete left. That is me. And then next to that is my family. The tall gentleman is my husband. We've been married for 23 wonderful years. And then it's me. I'm the short little one there. And then the young man with the lots of hair, that's my 22-year-old son, Bradley. And right in front is my 19-year-old daughter, Michaela. I'm showing you this image for 2 specific reasons. Number one, to show you that I'm a human being. I am not a bot. I am not artificial intelligence. I'm a normal human being, just like each one of you are. And number two, I am a female person, so I would really appreciate it when you address me. You can address me as ma'am or professor or Bernadine, but I am a she. That is my pronoun. So number two, also, I want to show you this to highlight the fact that I have a family. So while I am at your disposal, Mondays to Fridays, it's only from 8 until 4, please. So please bear that in mind. Do not contact me after hours or over the weekend. I will not respond to those inquiries. As you can see from my resume, I was a police official from 1988 to 2007. In 2007 March, I joined UNISA, and I have been with this wonderful institution ever since then. I attained my BTEC and my MTEC policing, both cum laude. I'm sure you know what that means. And I attained my DLIT et Fil in police science at UNISA. I am currently responsible for 3 separate modules: FOR1502, FOR3701, and FOR5907. So please make sure that when you send me an email using your MyLife email account, that you mention you are inquiring about FOR1502 or which other module, if you have 3701, that you are inquiring about that. I also do, my apologies, I also do postgrad supervision. I currently have 13 master's students and 2 PhD students. So that is just a little bit of a background. So what are we going to be doing today? I just want to double check that the audio is on and everything is fine. I see no chats. Okay, so let's proceed. So today I want to chat with you about two things. In an academic environment like ours, there are things that need to be done. There's administration, there is learning material, there is finances, there's registration, there's tuition. And there are various people who are responsible for these things. In terms of a normal semester cycle, the student, which is you are here and you are responsible for your own learning. You are responsible to administer your own paperwork, your own communication. I'm hoping that you do it on your own and you don't have a wife or a husband or a significant other that you say, please do this for me or please do that for me. This teaches you skills which you would not necessarily have learned at school. I am the lecturer. I'm here responsible for your tuition. I'm responsible to teach. I'm not responsible for what you learn. So I will give you my best. I will try my best to make sure that you understand the work, but I cannot force you to study. And then we have the support departments like administration, registration, finances, and the like. And they are responsible for all the things around your studies. Now, I do not have access to those systems. My apologies. I do not have access to those systems. I cannot help you with assessments or administration of your registration or your payments. I cannot help you with that. So please go and check on the My Life's, your landing page on your My UNISA. Everything you need to know is there. So I will be responsible for the module site and what goes on the module site. I post things there. I speak to you also through the module site. I use the module site from which I send the emails. We will talk today a little bit about the assignment due date. So it's not like previously where you got your tutorial letter 101 and all the assignment due dates were in there as well as your assignments. It doesn't work like that anymore. Since we are going online, we are now first teaching before we are testing or assessing with the assessments. There will be two primary tutorial letters. TUT 101 is already on your module site, and I hope that you have accessed this. TUT 201 will be posted later with the answers to the written assessments. Please make sure that when you communicate with the university or the lecturer that you only use your My Life email account. It often happens that students use their private emails and then the messages don't reach us. I will chat a little bit about the Telegram group and the first year experience. So one of my favorite animations is Kung Fu Panda. Now, in this story, Master Oogway tells Panda the following, open quote, "Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present." Now, who is responsible for your progress in this module? Who is responsible to ensure that you remain in the present? Who is responsible to see to it that you study, that you do your assessments, you attend your online classes, you go through the lessons online? Pause for a moment and think, who is responsible? If you answered, I am responsible, as in you as a student, you will be totally correct. You have chosen to be here. You have chosen to show up. You have chosen to register. So I want to invite you, and I really want to encourage you, show up, both mentally and physically when we have classes. You don't have to view the lessons or even attend any of the classes, but my question to you will then be, how will you learn? If you read through the study guide and you think, oh no, this stuff is easy, I understand this, but you are in error about something, how will you know? So I'm your lecturer and I work at an academic department. I do not work at registration. I don't work at finances. I don't work at the assessment department. I cannot help you with these inquiries. Please do not email or call me about these matters. It's not that I don't want to. I cannot. I cannot because I don't have access, and that's not part of my job. I'm your lecturer. If you have a question about your module, then you write me an email. So let's look at normal email communication. Now you're wondering, yes, why is this woman talking to us about email? I know how to write an email. So of my 2,000 odd students, there are quite a number that do not know how to write an email. So let's take it from the top. When you communicate with a university, please make use of your My Life email address. If you look at the top, you will see that in the subject, the student has written, this is about assignment 1. I've blacked out the student's email address and the name. So in the subject, you can write to me assignment 1. But now I have 3 modules. Which module? So please, in the subject, include your student name and number, your module code, and the basis of your inquiry, as in assignment 1 or access to module site. And then you tell me, dear professor, dear ma'am, hi Bernadine, I'm doing a follow-up, whatever, and please advise on the way forward. Whatever your question is, can you see it's nicely written? It's not just, hey, where's my assignment? Hey, where's the tutorial letter? Or sometimes I have students who write that entire message in the subject line. So yeah, the student wrote the entire message in the subject line, and I cannot make out what the student wanted to say. And it was also written from a Gmail account. So I will not be able to help the student, because more often than not, this message lands in my spam folder. So here's another one. Morning, please assist me. I'm struggling to find JRoot on my UNISA to submit my assignment. And I'm thinking, haha, morning. Who are you? Which module site? And I honestly don't know how to react to this. Here's another one. So you will see in the top here, this email has been sent by the student via the My Module site. Now, I love Moodle. I love the new platform. It's an amazing platform. The only problem with this system is that the module site where you are logged into, maybe FOR1501 or OVM 2601 or any other of the other modules that you are registered for. And now while you're there, you think, oh, I want to ask Prof. Benson something. And then you can send me an email from there. But the problem is, this is how I'm going to get it. So I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are inquiring about. Now, I must first go online. I must go and look for this message and say, oh, okay, so you are actually asking me something about FOR1502. So please make sure when you send me an email using your My Modules that you say FOR1501, and this is what I'm inquiring about. Here's another example of the 3 modules I have. I have a problem with my submission. I can't submit. The system doesn't allow me. I don't know. I don't know how to help you. Now, here's the problem. You might think that I'm incredibly difficult and I'm incredibly pedantic. I have over 2,000 students. What I have to do now is I have to go online. I have to go and look for the student. I have to reply to the student and say, dear student, I saw this email. In regard to which module are you inquiring about? And then I have to wait. And students aren't always very active on their emails. So 2 days later, I might get another email back, or even a week. The challenge is I have to respond within 72 hours. Otherwise, the system flags my response. So I want to sort it out as quick as possible. And the thing is, I don't want to spend my time to and froing with students on emails. I want to spend my time giving you the quality education that you have registered for, building exciting PowerPoint presentations, doing online classes. And if students keep me busy with this and this type of emails, it takes a lot of time out of my day. Please also make sure you use your My Life email address. I cannot and will not respond to an email from a private email address with all the spam and the hacking going on. We are told not to respond to students who write to us from a private email address. So here is an example of what I consider to be a well-formulated email. I can see it's FOR1502. I can see it's about assessment 1. In the message, it's clear. So the student is saying, "Good day, Prof. I'm student Kamala with student number so-and-so. I would like to know if assessment 1 for this module is an open book assessment. Kind regards, Zinhle." Now I can return and say, "Hi, Zinhle, thank you for your email. Yes, assessment 1 will be open book. All the best. Regards, Bernadine." So it makes it so much easier if you are clear and crisp about your communication. This does not only apply to my module, it applies to all the modules and it applies to life. When you write an email, when you communicate with somebody, always be respectful, always greet, introduce yourself, be short and sweet, check your spelling, and greet friendly at the end. In an open distance learning institution, you are all sitting probably at a study center. Some of you are sitting at home. Some of you are sitting in an office. We are all over. And I want to really encourage you to make an effort to connect with your fellow students. Now, we've given you various options for this. Number 1 is the first year experience. This is an online program that first year students at UNISA must do. You must take part in the first year experience because that will take you through the MOOC, which is a massive open online course, which is going to expose you to the online platform at UNISA, because you're going to get onto the online platform and you are going to say, what must I do? Where must I go? And these two courses, the first year experience and the MOOC, will help you transition into this online space. And then there are the Telegram groups. Now, I'm very active on my Telegram groups. Please feel free to join the Telegram group for your modules. They are run by students. Take note of the rules of those groups. Do not go against the rules. Do not break the rules, because you will be blocked. I've been blocked several times because sometimes I forget that I'm not allowed to do something, and then they block you. They don't care who you are breaking the rules, and then they block you. And then I have to first apologize nicely and ask permission again. So please make sure that you connect with your fellow students. This will make sure that your journey is not so lonely. Okay, so what does your module site look like? So this is the module site for semester 1 for FOR1502 2023. How do you access your module site? Well, you go to My Modules and you should be able to click here on the orange drop down at the top, and it will give you a drop down, and you click on 1502 2023 semester 1, and this is what your landing page will look like. Let's take a brief moment to look at the layout quickly. So you will see on the left-hand side, there are various tabs that you can go to. The participants, I can see the participants. If there are badges or competencies, they will show there. The calendar, frequently asked questions will be there. At this stage, there's no prescribed material. So prescribed material is going to be empty. We have the official study material. Logs is where I go and look at who's been doing what on the module site. So if you complain to me that, I don't understand your module and your stuff is not understandable, your stuff is not available, or if at the end of the semester you fail and you report me to the dean or whoever, and you say, no, but Prof. Benson did this or did not do that, we go and look at the logs and we see how many times did Peter log on to the module site. Oh, once at the beginning of the semester and then never again. So remember, every touch leaves a trail. Every touch leaves an electronic trail. So I'll be able to see who's doing what here. And then the rest of the tabs. What is useful is the very next one. Where do you find your official study material? When you scroll down the left side here, here's official study material. Click on that. It will open up and you will be able to access tutorial letter 101 as well as your study guide. Now, I am not sure whether you have asked for hard copy material. I have no control over how this is delivered to you, but I want to strongly advise you to come here and to download your study guide and your tutorial letter for the first semester. You can download TUT 301. This is basically additional information about referencing and ethical student conduct and the policies. So do yourself a favor and download it and go through it. But here is your study material. So if it hasn't reached you yet, please access it from here. Okay, so why the majority of you do come here is to come and find out about your assessments. Now, in the past, you got TUT 101, you had 2 assignments, both were written assignments, and you got all the questions, and away you went, and you did your assignments, you submitted them, then you got your marks, you got your tutorial letter, feedback tutorial letters, you got your exam dates, you wrote your exam dates, and off you went. So since COVID, we started doing things a little bit more differently. We started doing a little bit more work online. So I want you to take note of the format, especially of the assessments for FOR 1502. So assessment 1 is an online quiz. A quiz is like an MCQ or true and false or fill in the missing words. Assessment 2 will be a written assignment. This is where you are going to get questions. There will be an assignment posted on the module site. You are going to access that assignment. You are going to answer the questions and you are going to upload it onto the same space. Assessment 3 is going to be an online timed quiz, MCQ, true and false, fill in the missing questions. So you will see the percentages, in other words, the weighting of each of those assignments towards your year mark. And then your examination will be 100 marks. It's going to be a timed quiz online. It's going to be proctored. In other words, you're going to have to activate your webcam, and it's going to be randomized. In other words, if Janet and I are sitting next to each other, let's say in the library, and we are doing our exams, and we start the exam at the same time, her first question and my first question will not be the same. That's what randomized means. But let's say her question and my question are the same. Our options, A, B, C, and D, will not be the same. So we randomize the questions and we randomize the answer. So your assessments will count 20% towards your year mark, and your year mark will be calculated out of your exam mark and your assessments. Now I want you to please start taking note of what I'm sharing here. Assessment 1 will be an online quiz. 50 marks, 20% of your year mark. It will be based on the content of study unit 0 and study units 1 to 6 of section 1, which is disciplinary transgressions in your study guide. The quiz itself will open on Monday, 13 March at 2023 at 8 o'clock. So you will only be able to access the questions on the 13th of March at 8 o'clock. It will close on Wednesday, 29 March at 11 o'clock. So This quiz will be an online quiz. It will not be timed. So if you want to start on this Monday morning, 13th of March at 8 o'clock, let's say 8 o'clock, you decide you're going to take this quiz. It's open book. So by the way, open book, you can have your study guide with you. And you are now going to take the quiz. You can take 24 hours. You can take, 48 hours, just as long as you stay logged on. Now, if something happens and the power goes down and you access that system again, the quiz should open where you were on the last time because you did not submit. It closes on 29 March at 11. Do not contact me on the 30th of March and tell me, oh, I'm so sorry. We had load shedding yesterday and we had bad weather and I lost my cell phone and I lost this. And I do not want to hear that. You have more than enough time to take this. If you come to the 14th of March and something happens, let's say you land in hospital and you are deathly ill and you are in a coma, and the 5th of April you wake up and then you contact me and tell me, Prof. Benson, here's my doctor's note. I was in hospital, or I was almost dead. I was in a coma. Please, can we look at another opportunity? Then we can consider that. But if there's any way for a partner or a sibling or even you to send me an email, because if you are in the hospital and you have your cell phone and you are TikToking and you are whatever, then I'm sorry, you can send me an email to tell me, I'm in hospital, I'm unable to access, please note this so that I have a note so that I can make a plan for you afterwards. You will have two opportunities. So in other words, you are going to take the first quiz and you're going to submit, and you are going to get a mark, let's say 30 out of 50, but you will not get the answers to those. Then you can say, okay, let's see where I went wrong. You are going to know what is wrong and what is right. So in other words, you are going to see question 1 is right, question 2 is wrong, but you're not going to see why question 2 is wrong. You are just going to see it's wrong. So now it's up to you to go through all your wrong answers and say, what did I do wrong here? And then you can go double check, and then you can take the quiz again. Out of these two, the highest mark will count. Okay? Please, I want to reiterate, load shedding is a reality. Do not contact me on the 29th of March at 10 o'clock in the morning and tell me, Prof. Benson, we've had load shedding today. I couldn't take the quiz. You've got to be proactive. You've got to plan, and you've got to do your things in good order. So assessment 2 is the written assessment. In this assessment, you will get a case study, and you have to answer the questions based on the case study. It will account 100 marks, and it will contribute 60% to your year marks. The questions will become available on the 20th of March at 8 o'clock. The system will close for submissions on 11 April at 11 o'clock the evening. You may only upload a PDF document. And I want to ask you, please, 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 double check that you are uploading the correct document. Not your study guide or your tutorial letter or another module's assessment. It is not my job to double check that you've submitted the correct assessments. If we start assessing, and we're assessing and we're assessing, and the feedback tutorial letter is released in the meantime, and I only open your assignment after the feedback assessment has been, or the feedback tutorial letter has been released, and I see, oops, Janet has submitted the wrong assessment. She submitted for FOR1501. I cannot ask you to replace. I cannot contact you and tell you, oh, wrong assignment, here's another opportunity. I cannot do that. You will lose the 60% in effect. So it sounds very harsh, but you know, we are trying to teach you to double check and to take responsibility for your studies and what you do. So make sure that you double check whatever it is that's loaded, and that it's a PDF only. So assessment 3. Assessment 3 is an online timed quiz. It will be 50 marks and it will be 20% of the year mark. But assessment 3 has got a little bit of a spin because your exam is going to be a timed exam. So you're going to have the clock ticking in your ear. I've decided to make assessment 3, which is an open book quiz, also online. It will be a timed quiz. It's going to open for you to take on the 10th of April at 8 o'clock, and it will close on Friday, 28 April at 8 o'clock. This means any time between Monday, 10 April at 8 and Friday, 28 April at 8, you have 80 minutes to take this quiz. Only 80 minutes. So if you open your quiz and the clock starts ticking, and your partner calls you and says, hey, yeah, we come check this bird or come see this airplane, and you go out and you spend 10 minutes and you come back, you've wasted 10 minutes. You only have 80 minutes. You cannot take 10 minutes now, 10 minutes tomorrow. It has to be one slot of time. And it's just to expose you a little bit to feel how it feels in the exam, how it's going to feel in the exam, with the exception that this is an open book, but in the exam, it will be a closed book. You will once again have 2 opportunities and the highest mark will count. In the exam, obviously, you are only going to have 1 opportunity. So let's talk about your assessments quickly. There are 3 assessments. There are not 1, there's not 2, there are 3 assessments. Only assessment 1 is compulsory. So in other words, you only have to do assessment 1 and get 40% for assessment 1 to get access to the exam. But now you must ask yourself, if you only do assessment 1 and you get 100% for assessment 1, only 20% of that 100% will count towards your final exam mark. So in other words, 20% of let's say 50%, I'm not sure what it is, I think it's 10%. So you only got 10% towards your final mark already. So do yourself a favor, make sure that you do each assessment, because the assessments are there to help you prepare for the exam. Failure to do assessment 1 may result in you not gaining access to the exams. Failing to pass assessment 1, at least get 40%, although that's horrible, but it's considered a pass, will also result in you not gaining access. So please make the effort and do assessment 1 timelessly and focus on working out to the study guide timelessly. As I've mentioned briefly, your exam will be an online quiz that will be timed and proctored. In other words, there will be webcam. You have to activate the camera on your device, and the camera will be taking photos of you throughout the process, and we will be able to pick up, are you looking around at things? Are you taking a look at notes on the side or on your walls? And in that way, the artificial intelligence behind the program will help us to determine. You will be flagged, we will investigate, and more often than not, this is how we catch students cheating. So do yourself a favor, do it ethically. This is also a way that universities globally have ensured that the quality and the value of the qualification at the end of the day is not brought into disrepute. Yes, there are students that cheat. Yes, there are students that take shortcut. Then they get into the workspace and they can't do the work. And then they say, oh, that qualification at uni says useless. This person can't do the work. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, this person cheated their way right through the assessments. It's one of the things we will also be talking about in the study guide is ethical conduct and honesty, because as an investigator, you cannot be an investigator if your ethics and your honesty is not totally above board. How the module will flow, there will be classes scheduled, like today's classes. There will be pre-populated learning units or lesson units that you can work through in your own time. I am not going to say, okay, guys, this week do this lesson unit, next week do that. No, it doesn't work that way. You are doing self-directed learning. I will, however, when I post the notifications about upcoming live classes, tell you that our next live class will cover study unit or learning unit 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of section 1 of the study guide. So read through the work so that when I engage with the work, you have been exposed to the work as well. There will also be pre-recorded classes that you can go and look at, and you can go back anytime and re-look at things. A lot of your learning is self-directed. I just guide from the side. I don't dictate except with with the assessment dates. But you are here and you need to direct yourself. How are you going to do that? Monitor your MyLife email account for messages. Make sure you stay up to date. Go and look at your MyLife account at least twice a day to make sure that you aren't missing anything. And make sure that you use your MyLife account for all your communication with the university. I want to end off today's session. We're going to go into a Q&A now with the following quote from Pinterest. What is the difference between university and life? At a university, you are taught a lesson and then given a test. Whereas in life, you are given a test that teaches a lesson. So I want to encourage you today to engage with the learning material, to ask questions, and to make sure that when you finish this module, you can look back and say, this has been my work, my assignments, my studying, my work, my exam. And there ends our session. And now I'm going to activate everybody's cameras, microphones, so that if there are questions, you simply raise your hand with the little raise icon. I see you, Duduzi, and I'm going to activate your mics quickly so that you can ask questions. Let me just double quick. Okay, and it's done. Meeting options have been amended. And we have Duduzi. Duduzi, you can unmute yourself and speak to us.
Yes, Professor, how are you?
I'm well, and yourself, sir?
Well, I heard you spoke about the groups on Telegram. So I was wondering if you have maybe the links, or when you search on Telegram, what do you write to access those groups?
Okay, so you want to know how do you join your Telegram group?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm going to try and do in the chat box, I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm going to try and post the link to the broad Telegram platform. What you then do is you plot in FOR1502 and then you join that group. And if you are also a student of FOR1501, you type that in and you join that group. Will that help?
Yes, thank you very much, Professor.
Okay, sure. If it doesn't work on the chat, What I will do also from the module site, I will send an email to everybody containing the link as well. Oh, thank you, Khadija Woody. Khadija has sent us the link. Okay, do we have other questions? I don't see any other raised hands. Offense, did you want to ask something? If nobody's going to ask me anything, then I'm going to ask something. Let me ask, what are the modules that Prof. Benson is responsible for? You can type it in the chat. The first person to ask correctly will receive a special bonus from me. What are the modules? Prof. Benson, I have 3 modules. Moyahabu, I have 3 modules. What are my modules? I have 3 modules that I'm responsible for. What are the 3 modules? You must list all 3 in one. And Shanae Rudman is our winner. Shanae Rudman, you are our winner today. Congratulations. When we come to assessment 2, Shanae, you will be given a special one-on-one with me. If there is anything in the written assessment that you are unclear with or that you want to double check before you submit your assessment for marking, you will have a special one-on-one with me for that. Mikhaili, what is the exam due date? I do not know yet. The university works in big cycles, and at this stage, we do not even know how many students we have yet. And because all our exams are online, we have to wait for final student numbers before the exam department starts plotting this. So sorry, I don't know. Okay, any other questions? Okay, then I'm going to ask a question. So when you write to me and you write me an email, I just need a yes or no. May you use your Google Gmail account to write me an email? Oh, Michaeli, well done. You are the winner on that one. Okay, so Michaeli, for assessment 2, you will also be given a one-on-one with me to double check any question before you submit. Oh, I'm so glad you guys have listened so well. So well. Now I'm going to ask you the last question. And this question is about assessment 3. Assessment 3 will be an online quiz. How long will you have for assessment 3? Okay, Leandre Arduinis, well done. You are the winner. So we have 3 winners today. We have Shanae, we have, let me get to the other name, Michaeli, and we have Leandre. I'm assuming these are all females, so well done to the ladies. You have kicked butt, so well done. We are officially done with, okay, Janneke, I'll be with you now. We are officially done with the Q&A from my side. I'm going to ask these 3 students to please send me an email from their My Life email account so I can schedule those sessions with you for assignment 2. Janneke has asked, Prof, what should we learn or prepare for assessment 2 and assessment 3? Janneke, assessment 1 covers the first half of the study guide. Assessment 3 will be the second half of the study guide. Assessment 2 will be a combination of the entire study guide. So that is more or less what you can prepare for assessment 2 and 3. Alrighty. Marita asked, will the online classes be during the day as well? Marita, from experience, yes, some students selected after hours. However, we found that the attendance after hours was very, very poor, despite the students asking for after hours. So the majority of the classes, the live classes, will be in the day. But if you are unable to attend, I will be posting the link for the recording on the module site, as well as the link to my YouTube channel on the module site. I must, however, warn you that if you access the link with your Gmail account, it will not give you permission to view the recording. You will have to ask me to open the recording for you. So I will set the link so that anybody with a link from a My Life email account will be able to access the link and view the link. So make sure, for your admin purposes as well as for mine, that you attend and you try and access the link via your My Life email accounts. And then I will be posting the PowerPoint presentation also on the module site. Theola, I will put the PowerPoint presentation on the module site. They contain all the dates, so don't stress. Bonolo, when do I think will be the other class? Bonolo, probably within the next 2 weeks. Offense, yes, definitely. I will always record the classes and make sure that they are on the module site for you to view, as I do understand that load shedding is a reality. Okay, thank you, Israel, for sharing that. And what you guys are doing now in the chat box by asking and helping and reaching out, this is what online learning is about. This helps us to feel less isolated, and this is also what we're going to experience on the Telegram group. So we don't ask for answers, for example, on the Telegram group. We discuss. We pose a question, and some struggling with this. I think it's A, B, or C, and then we discuss why do you think it's this? And in so doing, we are all learning, because believe it or not, I learn every day from a lot of my students. I learn what's going on outside there in the workplace. I learn new things, which I then share, which I then gladly share. So make sure that you attend these sessions and make sure that you engage. Will there be any contact classes this semester? No, unfortunately, contact classes, as in where I stand in front of the class, is a thing of the past. The only format of classes there will be is online classes, Israel. Okay, I am going to then bid you all a good day. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week further, and we will catch up with our next session. Please check your emails to see when that will be. Have an awesome day, everybody. Bye-bye.